did a live reading last week, I don't think, because I just wanted to take just like a small break from it. So, I did some writing. I am working on my murder mystery book, and I have been keeping you guys like updated on that. I felt like I needed to put more time into writing that book, and I haven't been working on my fantasy adventure book. I mean, I'm trying to do both books at once. I'm not really like confused by both of the books or whatever. Sometimes they'll ask me, how do you keep track of everything going on in the book? And I'm like, well, I just know everything going on. I know what my characters are doing. I know like what their motivations are, like what they're supposed to be doing. So I pretty much know everything that they're doing. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to do a live reading tonight. I usually do one every Wednesday and Friday. But I decided that I'm going to be getting like a full-time job, a part-time job, I'm not really sure. And I am really excited about it, so hi. Both cats are up here. So I wanted to do my reading from Wicked Curse, and I just love this cover. I'm just so excited. Okay, so I have to remember last time when I had read, Olivia and Gina got captured by the village people, and they got taken back to their village. So I'm going to be reading chapters 6 and 7. Chapter 6 is really short, and I think chapter 7 is like 9 pages. Maybe. I'm not really sure. But if you missed last week's reading, you can go to my YouTube channel, and it will like show you all of the readings. So, okay. So this is chapter 6 from Wicked Curse. Okay. All right. Inga stared at the flickering flames and remembered all those cold nights with her sisters. Misty and Sasha at the safe place where Mom told them to go. She wished Mother was there with them. Inga had hoped Mother would find them soon so they could go back home. But the icy days lingered on for weeks and months. Inga had stared at the door, hoping it opened and Mom would be standing there, looking at them, okay and not hurt. But sadly, she was afraid Richard's dad, Leo Henry McGalla, the leader of Salem, hung her like he did to Dad. Peter, Joseph, and Mark stood there. Tyler collapsed to the floor, drenched in sweat, breathing heavily. Ye cannot be a weak boy. I'll need your help. I'll never help you. I don't want any part of this. It's too late for that boy. He is marked with the spell. Ye won't be the same much longer. No, take it back, witch. Inga walked over, grabbed him by the neck, and squeezed. Tyler tried to gasp for air and gripped her wrist. Don't test me, boy. You have no idea who you are dealing with. Inga looked at the other three, then let go of his neck and stood. Peter, the eggs are about to hatch. Tyler gasped for air, holding his neck, then looked up at Inga. Eggs? What eggs? What are you talking about? Mark grabbed him by the back of the neck and squeezed, forcing him to stand. Inga, wait. You don't have to do this, please. Inga turned around towards the fireplace and watched the flames flicker and snap. She closed her eyes and saw her two sisters drawing pentagrams on animal skins Dad had hunted from the forest, or hunted in the forest. Mother found rocks with black chalk for them to color with. One of Inga's favorite memories was a doll that Mom had stuffed with white cotton she picked from the fields and helped Inga tie strings of rope for hair. She always minded her own business, not bothering her two sisters. This was before she met Belinda, wanting a friend outside the family. Sasha, the middle child, used to take her dolls and chalk to tease her because she was the baby of the family and the smallest. Inga opened her eyes and turned back around. It's time to meet them. She walked past Peter and Tyler, then out the front door with the thought of wanting to accomplish her evil plans. Once they all arrived at the cave, she entered first, then Peter. The others followed. There were more winged creatures resting on large rocks, some hanging from one claw. Oh my gosh, I remember writing this. I had like so much fun writing this, so okay, I gotta start. Okay. Once they all arrived, oh no, wait. Okay. There were more winged creatures resting on large rocks, some hanging from one claw. Their wings were wrapped around their bodies just like a bat. Their wings, Others were wrestling and fighting, proving they were the strongest. In the back of the cave were 3 large round-shaped eggs, the size of baseballs. They were masked with slime and dangling from the lowest part of the cave. Inga stopped in front of them and pulled the slime away to feel the scales of the egg. It was warm from the inside out. She felt a small heartbeat against it. Images of this winged creature flashed through her mind of when they were created from Peter, Mark, George, and Joseph. A single drop of their blood and one little piece of their scale from their arm was just enough. She opened her eyes and grimaced with dark thoughts floating around her mind. Knowing what damage these creatures could do. They are ready. The silence grew in the cave as they all stood there and watched, waiting for the right time. A black claw poked through the shell as Inga's excitement grew. She broke a piece off big enough for it to pop its head out, then looked at Peter. Peter stepped over and broke a bigger chunk off and let the little beast rest its head in the palm of his hand. It was covered with red scales. He growled in his throat, and the tiny beast opened its eyes and let out a small hiss. Pedro, you are now ready. The other 2 eggs hatched in front of Joseph and Mark. They must rest and find a body to hibernate in. Show them. Inga gave them a nod. Okay, so when I created these demons, Mark, Joseph, George, and Peter, I wanted to give them like a sidekick. So I was like, okay, maybe I can give them like a creature that hatches from an egg and part of their DNA is inside these flying creatures, and they have their own names. So, like, Pedro, in Spanish, that means, I think it's Peter. And so, like, what I decided to do was they needed a dark environment, and I want them to be, like, a little bit, a lot like Peter and Joseph and the other two, but I wanted these flying creatures to be their own character. I just wanted, like, a little bit of them inside of these flying creatures. So when I did that, I was like, I'm gonna have to have a little bit from each demon to create their own sidekick. And that's what I wanted to do, and they needed to be in a cave, and I was like, maybe I can have a whole bunch of them. So, like, this cave is, like, close by Inga's house. Batman, what are you doing? Batman? Oh my gosh, she scares me when he rough plays with Oreo. I'm just like, oh Lord. I hope he's not trying to, like, Batman. I have to admit though, Oreo does add on to it. Batman. Oreo. Okay, I think they're just rough playing, but I think Oreo is, like, strong enough to, like, bite him back if he gets a little too rough. So anyways, creating this cave, I've written about caves before, like, in short stories and stuff, and in my new series that I'm working on, the Sword of Realm series, which I need to really get back to working on that. I have a cave that I created, and it's where the sword is located, and it's where it's hidden. Hi, Oreo. Hi. But, so when I created this cave, this dark, creepy cave, it's covered in slime, and it has these flying creatures in it. This cave in my fantasy adventure series, I wanted to be totally different, so I had to make sure that I did not make them the same. So I'm just so I definitely did, like, have a lot of fun, like, doing this chapter, like, creating the cave and the inside of it and stuff. So let me see how many pages this is. 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's, like, 5 pages here. I'm trying to figure out if I want to read this chapter. 1, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm trying to think here. This chapter seems pretty long, so maybe I will read this chapter 7 next time. I don't want to say, like, this Friday, because then what if I don't? So, I'm trying to think. I thought I had already. Oh, never mind. They're headed to the village right now. Okay, yeah. I think I'll go ahead and just read this chapter next time because it is pretty long. And when I read chapters, if I want to read, like, 2 chapters but they're too long, then I won't read them. Like, so this chapter, I'll just wait and read this next time. So anyways, I just had so much fun, like, with these. flying creatures, especially in the third book, Wicked Curse, because in the first and second book, you didn't really get to know them like as much. You didn't get to see them as much. And now in Wicked Curse, there is like so much going on like in this book. And actually, I want to reread this for a minute. This part had me remember something. Pedro. Oh wait, hold on. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Okay. She opened her eyes and grimaced with dark thoughts floating around her mind, knowing what damage these creatures could do. They are ready. Okay, and then here it is right here. Now this part is this. I'll read this and then I'll explain it. They must rest and find a body to hibernate in. Show them. Inga gave them a nod. Okay, so they must rest and find a body to hibernate in. Okay, so these creatures that I created, Inga does treat them as family and as pets. So it's like when she loses one, it devastates her. Like when Spook, my cat, had gotten sick and then she had passed away. That really like upset me and devastated me, and I felt like I lost a part of me because she was like a part of me. And I still do have my moments. I still have my days. There's times where I just miss her and I wish I could hold her. So I took some of that and put it into this book because I've had pets growing up that I was really close with, and they ended up like getting old, dying, whatever. I mean, we had a dog named Rowdy. He had taken off and he was gone for like, I think like a week. And he came back and he had a trap in his paw. And it had gotten so infected that gangrene started to spread through his paw and up his leg. So we took him to the emergency room and they had to amputate his leg. And I remember that when he came back home, I used to help him like walk on 3 legs, and I would take him outside to go to the bathroom. And I remember he had a patch. I used to help my mom switch it out and put a brand new one on because he had stitches and he was still kind of bleeding where they had cut his arm off and, well, amputated, I guess. And then like one day he just had a real bad seizure and we couldn't get him up, and I didn't know, but he had died and I took it really, really hard. So my point, Inga does treat these flying demons as her pets. So I was trying really hard to try to figure out a way to keep all these creatures in one area, because like in the one chapter I had read, the villagers are scared of Inga, and they are scared of these flying creatures and her demons, Peter, Mark, and Joseph. And in the one chapter when Richard's village had discovered Gina and Olivia, when Olivia said Inga, they kind of like all got scared and they're like whispering to each other like, no, you know, because they're like scared of her. And I just wanted to keep that in with these creatures when I had created them. Like I still wanted the reader to feel the fear and like the excitement from them, and hopefully I did that. So, but this chapter was a lot of fun to write. I did have to go on the internet and I did have to do like a little bit of types of caves, because there are a bunch of different types of caves. There really are. So I did some research on that, and I had to make sure the environment of the inside of this cave fit the demons and these flying creatures, their character, personality, and stuff. So yes, it was a lot of fun to write, and I hope it showed in the chapter. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I need to talk about. Let's see. Okay, so Tyler, I just about said Tyson. Tyler is being trained by Peter and Mark and Joseph. And I don't know if you, like, so far, I think you guys might know why Inga wants Tyler. I don't want to say it, like, right now, but I think before we get to the middle part, I think we'll find out why Inga wants Tyler. So, well, it says right here, Tyler has fallen into Inga's spell. What are her plans for him now? Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, I had a lot of fun reading that. I would read chapter 7, but it's really long. So, I'm going to read that next time. And hopefully I'll keep up with these live readings. Because I am going to be getting a job. I don't know if it's going to be full-time, part-time. I'm not really sure. I have no clue when. So, but anyways, I'm just really excited to get back into this. So, thank you all so much for reading along with me. And go ahead and tell me what you think of this cover. If you don't like it, please say it in a nice, kind way. Because, like, sometimes when people ask you, like, what do you think of my cover? Do you like it? They might say there's too much blue, it's too dark. I don't like it, you know? I've seen some covers from of my friends that have been done, and I honestly, like, sometimes I'm too afraid to say, it could have been better, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys stay warm. It is very cold and windy outside right now in Knoxville, Iowa, and I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning of this video, I hope you guys stay nice and warm. So, I got my cup of coffee here. So, I was planning on going to a church tonight, but it got canceled because of the high winds and the cold. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, stay warm. And I'll see you in the next live. Oreo, do you want to say bye to everybody? Oreo, come here. Come here. Hey, look what I got. Oh, my Lord. What did he do to my bookmark? Ah, what happened here? Look what he did. Somebody did this. I don't know who. Lord. This is one of my favorite bookmarks. Okay. Whoops. Okay. I will see you guys in the next live video.